Hello, friends. Today we're going to read Charlie Cook's favorite book. And this book is actually many books in one. It's what we call a story within a story. There's something very unusual going on in this book. See if you can figure it out. And then what I want you to do on Seesaw is tell me which is your favorite book in this book. And then also go over to Epic and Raz Kids and tell me about another favorite book that you found. And remember, your favorite book doesn't have to be a book. It could be a poem or a magazine or a book of Minecraft trivia or a book on how to make origami. It can be anything that you can read. Sometimes my favorite book is Facebook. So basically, any text with words is a book. I dare you to find a new favorite book. And if you don't have a favorite book yet, well, you just haven't found it yet. Let's go. So, this is by Julie Donaldson and Alex Scheffler. Charlie Cook's favorite book. Here's Charlie Cook. Look at all these books. If you look carefully, they will show up in the story. Charlie Cook's favorite book. Once upon a time, there was a boy called Charlie Cook who curled up in a cozy chair and read his favorite book. Study the illustrations carefully. Notice that it always tells you the name of the book up here. About a leaky pirate ship and that very nearly sank, and a pirate chief who got the blame and had to walk the plank. The chief swam to an island and went digging with his hook. At last he found a treasure chest, and in it was a book about a girl called Goldilocks and three indignant bears who cried, "Who's had our porridge? Who's been sitting on our chairs?" They went into the bedroom, and Baby Bear said, "Look, she's in my bed, and what is more, she's got my favorite book." About a cat who just walked on my book. Sorry, Loki, not your time. About Sir Percy Plankington, a bold and fearless knight, who told the dragon, "Wait, I'm not quite ready for the fight. You must hear this one first." And then his armor clanked and shook. Ho, ho, hee, hee, as he read aloud a joke he'd found inside his favorite book. About Rowena Read-a-Lot, a very well-read frog who jumped upon a lily pad and jumped upon a log, then jumped into the library that stood beside the brook and went, "Read it, read it, read it," as she jumped upon a book. About an oak tree full of birds. Each bird had built a nest, and they had a competition to decide which one was best. They chose an owl to judge it, and the winner was a rook, whose nest was lined with pages from his very favorite book. About a girl who saw a flying saucer in the sky. Some small green men were in it, and they waved as they flew by. She tugged at her mother's sleeve and said, "Look, Mom, what I've just seen." But Mom said, "Hush, I'm trying to read my favorite magazine." About a wicked jewel thief who stole the king's best crown and then got stuck behind some sheep, which slowed his car right down. The king got on the phone, and soon the cops had caught the crook and flung him into prison, where he read his favorite book. About a greedy crocodile who got fed up with fish and went on land to try to find some other kind of dish. He went into a bookshop, and he there grew even greedier while reading on page 90 of a large encyclopedia. Encyclopedia. An encyclopedia, by the way, is a book that contains all knowledge. It's what we used to use before the internet. About the biggest birthday cake the world had ever seen, a team of royal cake makers had made it for the queen. The cake was so delicious that a famous spaceman took a slice of it to Jupiter. He also took a book. Everybody now. About a ghost who glided around a castle every night, carrying her head and giving everyone a fright. She kept it up till morning, then she found a shady hook and put her head back on again to read her favorite book. About a cozy armchair and a boy called Charlie Cook. Look at that illustration. That illustration tells so many stories. What do you see in the picture? What do you see in your drawing? Do you understand what I mean now about a story within a story within a story within a story? Because having a story within a story is something people like to do a lot in literature and movies in America. Charlie Cook's favorite book is my favorite book. What's yours?